Hi everyone. I hope that was not. Oops. uh, yeah, I hope I didn't. Yeah, I just. Anyway, hi everyone, and welcome to this transmission, Patreon transmission, and yeah, we were. I was on. So for F1 live just now, family values. So here we are, and we're going to channeling, and was maybe we're going to keep going with that or not. We'll see. We'll have more fun. Yeah, it was really funny before, and it's still funny. So. And so, just to be clear, I really was beginning before. It was really a joke. We are not on a Christian fundamentalist program. This is here. This is us. This is all there is. So what we've done so far is that I've been talking about family values, right? Remember that all those family values come back to the self in reality, right? There is the story that we tell ourselves of our families, but our family exists when we make it exist, right? Awareness, energy follows awareness. So when I am related to to my family, I am creating the family. Doesn't mean that they do not exist. They do exist, right? It's not nothing of that. Reality is real, so they do exist. However, my version of my family, that's what I am creating. So it relates to the self. It relates to me, totally and completely. And my relationship with that family is a relationship with the self, with me, always. And my addiction to them, if there is addiction, the drama that I have with them, if there is a drama, is a mirror of the self. And do I have value, right? It's the family is there, it exists more as a way for us to discover ourselves, to have experiences, and then to evolve, and all of that, right? That comes always back to what we choose for the self. And so for me, as I was saying, it has been a huge discovery, and I realized how the family changed. I discovered that I have a mother that I didn't know. And I mean, yeah, from the age of 13, for nearly 15 years, I didn't have a relationship with my mother. So when I started to have one, then that evolved until the moment where she was completely a different woman. So people do change, even family members and mothers, fathers, they do change. But at the same moment, I have the example of my father where it is different, and I have a father that lives in the past, and there is nothing I can do I cannot change that. It's the way he is, and so that is it. And my stepmother is the same, and hers is it's a illness, right? And that's the way it is. But what I don't need to do is to put myself in there and devalue myself, or accepting that relation in that certain way, so that I feel crap, right? I don't feel my worth, because then it's me putting myself in that, right? It's me not valuing myself, disrespecting myself, and so I'm not going to go into that. I will stay out of that knowingly, and because I love myself. Because once you start being into your value, recognizing your value, well, you don't go into that. You let go of that completely. That is not good for me. Well, I don't have to go there. I choose differently because I can. Right. So let me go out of the way. Oh. So we were having a exchange and having fun, and that's what you heard, right? We laugh because, yeah, it's a good way. It's a good thing to laugh. So here I am. So we relate, or you know us as the god Ganesha, the elephant god, right? And so we came in saying, well, let us come in. We have been your father, human, many times. So let your father come in and talk. I would say, well, if I had known this, I wouldn't have made this just for pattern, right? That's what Max was saying. Yeah. Well, and then you realize, well, it doesn't matter actually. No, it doesn't. So, this is a topic about family, and so this is why we came in. It's because we have this relationship of family. And understand that relationship of family is not only human family, it's also a relationship of spirit, what you call spiritual family. Meaning, as you know, the beings that you relate to the most are the beings that are co-creating with you. And these beings co-create with you in many, nearly all of your lives. So mothers, fathers, cousins, siblings, and all of that, right? It's always a role that you play for each other. And so you are playing that role for them, and they are playing that role for you. So, and you exchange it, and it depends, right? You have so many experiences that you have many co-creators with you. So that becomes your spiritual family, because you tend to have that interaction with those beings that relate with you. That's common. Then you can have sometimes some surprises, which is some exceptions, with is the case with Max right now in this reality, in this life, where his two parents, father and mothers, are not part of his spiritual family, at the exception of his stepmother. She is part of his spiritual family, which is one of the reasons why his relationship with her is the worst, because they are playing this for each other. They're playing each other. They are having the experience. And he fully understands that none of these beings are bad. They're playing a role. They're playing something for each other. And so that he understands the love behind it, the meaning of that, the real meaning of that. And then there is the human perspective. And the human perspective is quite different. The human perspective is a perspective of story, of what is the story that I'm telling myself? Oh, this is the story. Great, let's go into it. And that's what you do. Doesn't mean that you have to disregard your story, your human experience. No, that is your reality. That is what you relate to. But if you can also hold that space of understanding your relationship with your family as a relationship that is like playing of actors, then you will be more able to interact with them lovingly, because you will give less weight to all of that. You will be able to keep a space of love no matter what happens. And shit happens and will still happen, keep happening, because you're here to have experiences. So you have the experiences, and these people that are relating to you as family, well, they will have that relationship, and that's fine. Go for it. Fuck it up lovingly. So we have had this relationship, which means of father. We have been fathering for this creator, for this being. And yes, we are regarded as the god Ganesha. What does that mean? It means that you relate to us as such, even though we are no such thing. Meaning, we are not superior. We are not better. We are not higher than you. You must now understand this. Gods are not better or whatsoever. We exist because you needed to have us as a image, as a potential, as something to look up to, when you had absolutely no idea of the self, of you. We are the externalization of reality. We are the externalization of God. You needed God outside of you to be able to go inside. That's where you are going now, inside of you. And when you go inside of you, you discover the God that you are inside. And once you have discovered the God that you are inside, well, even that will disappear. There are no gods. That's the secret. And you see, you are what we have become something. There is a following of Ganesha, as there is a following for any of these figures that you have made as gods. And there is all a story around Ganesha, and there are stories around every other god that you have ever had, and there are so many, so many. We could definitely have a club, right? We should found a club of gods. It will be crowded in there because there are many. Because you have so many traditions, and some you have even no idea that those traditions exist and that those gods exist. There are gods you have never heard just because it's not your vibration. And so we are related to a religion, but we are not. We are not that. We do not resemble that. We do not relate to that. When you pray to us, you're praying to yourself. When you see the miracle of your prayers, is your miracle. It's not us as gods giving you a miracle, right? It's always the self. But it's a funny thing. It's fun because you look up to us. You make us something that we really are not. But it's a role that we are playing. In co-creation, we are agreeing with each other, but as a being, as creators, we are as you, and we have so many interactions, so many aspects of Ganesha, the collective, that is human expression, human experience. And so we have this with Max, and we interact with each other. And we create realities where we have these interactions of family. And so somehow, in a way that it's difficult for humans to understand fully, is that we are part of the same collective, of the same expression, of the same being. And so that we are able to do that for each other. And these aspects are present in many of you. The gods that you have externalized are you, an expression of you. But it's you as a collective or as an individual. These gods are what they are, you. Now, though, the direction that you are taking, that Max has decided to take, and that you collectively will be taking, is the internalization. Go back inside of you to discover the self. What are you? Creators. Yes. God. Yes. But what really are you? Well, all there is. What I am. You exist. And you are expression. And you are human experience. But much, much, much more. The infinite. And all of that, it's you right now. see, you don't, there is no beginning, there is no ending, there is only now and forever. You don't stop. So when the human experience has been created at that, you as a collective, as a now, as a human being, it is the losing itself in the external reality, in this reality that makes you forget the self. When that has been related to the experience of human, then humans have started going around in their experience of human and being humans. That has become known as this experience of forgetting. It has been known as the experience of emotions, the blindness of your self created as human in that externalization. And that is a experience that is absolutely interesting, is God looking at God. It's the self looking at the self, interacting in a reality where the self has no idea of the self. There is only what? There is only this external reality that looks so real that you are so immersed in it that you forget everything else, and you go and you throw yourself into it. So that is human. That is the human experience. And isn't that precious to be able to do that? When you are you, when you are this expression that you are, this infinite being that you are, there are no surprises in creation, meaning that you are the creator. So you know yourself. So what is to not know the self? When then the creator that can create everything, the creator that is able and completely able to do anything, well, the creator says, well, there is only one way for I am, for me, as a all-knowing, to experience, not me. It's to have that experience where I don't know me. Oh, how am I going to call that? Oh, human being. Interesting. Let's do that. Let's forget. It's interesting, right? Yeah, let's create that aspect of forget. And let's see how we play this out. And as we are doing it all together, well, wow, it's globally. So yeah, let's come together and have that plan of existence called human third dimensional earth. Oh yeah. And there you go. There it is. You have your experience, not knowing what you are and being completely in this reality that you see as external. So there you go, you have your experiences, and wow. And so we are part of that, but we have then, because there is a idea of entering, and then the curiosity to see how do we remember, how we go from, oh, I don't know, to, oh, this is me. I recognize me. This is I am. Huh. How do you go from there to there? Well, yeah, let's see. Let's have the experience. It's gonna be fun. But then obviously, well, the self discovers what really forgetting means. And so the self sees the external. Oh, that is watching myself. Wow, this is the creator watching the creator. Fascinating. Do you realize what that is? Well, you know, because that's what you do. That's what you are doing. You are watching yourself. And then you discover yourself and you start doing this experience of going back to the self. Let me just see awareness, awakening, ascension. Oh, discovery. I will remember. I will ascend so high in the sky. And then discover that you have never forgotten. That is the illusion. But the thing is that you have no idea. You have absolutely no idea of any of this. What we are sharing with you. It's a version of it. It's a way to present these things so that you can relate. But you have absolutely no idea, and we cannot give you that idea because, well, you already know all of that. You already know. It's there in you. It has never left you and never will leave you. You are already all knowing. So you are having a journey into that sea of, I don't know, I have forgotten. So then, realizing that the sea is absolutely not forgotten. Mhm. It's like closing your eyes and forgetting where you are. And when you open them, suddenly you realize, oh, I'm here. Oh, still this. Oh, this is, and you realize that you never left. That is where you have been standing all along. Realizing that it's you. And this is a huge discovery. I am me. I am. Mhm. All of it. Everything, all of it. There is nothing that you are not already right now. That even this, it's you cannot see it totally in its totality, in the full understanding of this. And that is fine. You don't need to know more right now. You're still evolving into yourself, going through your ascension illusion of becoming, vibration, change. You're simply discovering yourself and being more of you inside until the moment you realize the self. When you leave this existence and you focus on you, still eternity, still creator, but no longer forgetful. You focus on you, the creator. So, how is it that you see us the way you see us? Remember, we are infinite beings, but also you have stories for us, for these gods that are all around your world. Your stories for many beings, actually. And then you have your own point of view, and your own point of view is always based on your belief system. So, when you have been interacting with those beings that then you have seen as gods, that has happened in a certain way. And collectively and individually, you have chosen to represent us in a certain way. It's your interpretation of us. Ganesha, the elephant god. Good. It's your interpretation. Is Ganesha, the being, a elephant? Or probably in expressions, we have elephant as part of our globality. Yes. Is that the wall of Ganesha? No, we are a collective, which is huge, and meaning that we have so many representation of this self. This is just one. So that is the way we have chosen in co-creation to have a representation of Ganesha. And then, wow, look at Shiva, look at uh, many other, right? Odin, Apollo, Zeus, mm, many others. Jesus. Mm. This being Buddha, yes. Going then into the representation, the elephant god, the serpent god, the eagle god, yeah, just a representation, the way that we have chosen to be represented in co-creation with you, so that you can relate to that image. But there is no beginning or no ending. So suddenly that's the way we have been depicted. Now there are stories around that can be told, and but that is exactly that, a story. It's not happening in your nows. So that story comes from somewhere, but that somewhere is lost in a different moment. Is it legend? Is it real? Of course there is the moment. Of course it's real. But it's not your moment. So it's another moment. And that brings you the awareness of the elephant god. And so you represent us as an elephant. But that's your interpretation of us. Like it's your interpretation of all of those other gods. And then you reinterpret us. You go from the Egyptians god to the Greek gods to the Roman gods. There are patterns, same beings, different names, same energy, same being, interpret in a different way, given a different name. But from our perspective, that doesn't matter. We have representations of ourselves as gods in other versions of reality, and you have never heard those names simply because you are not attracting it, so it's different, and we are represented in other ways than elephant. But that's not what you relate to. You relate to the elephant god. You relate to, right, all those different versions of gods until you see yourself. So that's what we are. And don't try to give us origins, right? See us as beings like you, vibrating with our experiences. We have had human experiences. Yes, we have. So this is our expression of God. Isis. Yes. The God within. That's what we are. An expression of the self. Not as a superior, simply an expression of the inside. That's what you are. I know, obviously, we love elephants. Who wouldn't love elephants, right? So, see us, well, the way you want. Try to see us as an evolution, as a human experience, as a part of the human history where you needed a vision external to yourself of God, so that then you could see God external, in order then later on to be able to bring God back inside. That's our function in your collective way of discovering yourselves. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for sharing this moment with us. We say goodbye and thank you, and well, we will see you in the next now. Oh, hmm. Yeah. God. This is the thing. I like all these beings that we have, seen in a certain way, whether it's gods, whether it's those that are in the dark side, is that they are not really, we are just assigning it to them that way, seeing them in that way. And you know what, whether it's the nice one or whether it's the dark one, they are all so wonderfully full of love and the sharing with us. Absolutely, that's what I've noticed. They are really fucking lovable and kind, and it's so fulfilling to exchange with them because they are really ready to relate, to give us something. Right, guys. This is it. That's it. I will be seeing you soon. Thank you for joining in and sharing your energy with us in this co-creation, and we will be seeing you soon. Bye bye.